Planet Zoo has been rated E10 by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It is approved for all players age 10 and up. Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the zoo. Everything's working pretty well. We're going to have to start culling animals soon. And I know that sounds mean, but it's just, population control. Anyway, what I wanted to do today was I wanted to put in a habitat here for the Bach and the scimitar horned oryx. And I'm not sure quite, they're basically these two species are so close together. They're like, almost identical, but not quite. But for several purposes in the game, they basically are identical. Okay, I got 1 male, 4 females for the Bach. And 1 male and 2 females for the scimitar horned oryx. I'm not sure if... Oh, excuse me. That was my breakfast having revenge on me. I had an excellent breakfast, but it was a little bit spicy, and because of that, I'm getting... If I burp into the microphone, I apologize. I'm not trying to be disgusting. Okay, I need for the Bach, I needed one male and 4 females. We're gonna grab him. Oh, I already had some Bach. I didn't need to get any new ones. Oh well. Why is everybody yelling and screaming like an animal escaped? Oh shit, what escaped? Doesn't look like anything's escaped. That was definitely what happens when an animal escapes. That rush to the exit. I put a second exit over here. That. Oh, I see. It didn't really escape. It's still in its cage. It's just they're freaking out because of nothing. I'm gonna pause the game as we set up our habitat. Now, I'm gonna have to spend some time basically doing cleanup. It might not be as exciting as building habitats, but it's gonna be necessary. You know, I'm going to have to cull through the animals, get rid of the old ones and the ones that are about to die. Make sure nobody's inbreeding. Pick up any litter if there's a lot of litter, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. There we go, that'll work. This is such a utility infielder piece, you know? I mean, it's perfectly appropriate for all kinds of animals, including these animals. It's gotten to the point in the game that we're busy enough all the time that I have to pause to build. Otherwise, the alerts will keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. I wonder what triggered what triggered that made everybody think that wild dog had escaped. I mean, I know sometimes you get false escape alerts, but I couldn't see any reason for it. Who knows? I somehow don't think the Cubsworth are going to appreciate the cherry trees, given that the cherry trees are a high altitude, cold weather plant, and the Cubsworth are desert antelope. Here we go. At least laying the fence is going pretty quickly. And it's always the most boring part of the build, but still. I have an amazing song stuck in my head. If you're young, you may not have ever heard it, but you really should. If you never have heard it, you should seek this song out because it's one of the most timeless classics I have ever heard. And the song is "The Weight by the band. That's the name of the band, the band. They started off as the backup band for Bob Dylan, and he'd come on stage and he'd be like, "Hi, my name's Bob Dylan. This is the band." That's how he would introduce his band. This is the band, in that high, nasally, hard to understand voice of his. How many roads does a man have found? Yeah, we hear you, Bob. Keep it up. Keep singing. You're a brilliant songwriter. As a singer, not so much. I don't care what anybody says. You know, he wrote amazing songs. He had a voice like frickin', you know, his voice was horrible, but he was a great songwriter. He still is a great songwriter. You know, I'm talking about him like he's dead, but he's not. He's just 155,000 years old. Bob Dylan's a lot like Keith Richards. You know, he's well preserved by his excessive use of narcotics. You know, all those chemicals in his body has preserved him like a mummy. An excellent songwriter. Almost done. But I've got, you know, like I said, I've got The Weight by the band in my head. You've probably heard it, even if you don't recognize it. And it's like 51, 52 years old. It's, you know, old song from the good old days of 60s rock and roll. Old in the Nazareth, about feeling half past dead. I think the absolute best performance of that song was when the band was joined by the Staple Singers. And if you've never heard the Staple Singers, you have an obligation to yourself to seek them out and find out just how good they are, because they are fantastic. Mavis Staples is one of the greatest singers in the history of the United States. I say this without hesitation. She has a better voice than Aretha Franklin. And Aretha Franklin is, as most of you know, or you better freaking know if you know, is someone who is almost without compare in American singers. And if you've never heard Aretha Franklin, oh my God, I have pity for you. You know, it's understandable. Mavis Staples and the rest of the Staple Singers were not as famous as as Aretha Franklin. But if you are ignorant of both Aretha Franklin and Mavis Staples, Lordy, I have pity on you, son. Music is very important to me. You may notice all that music that plays in the background when I'm building, all that's hand-picked. It's music that I selected, that I decided, okay, this is amazing, and I want to use it. And I've got a little bit of everything. I got jazz, I got punk, I got blues, lots of blues. I'm a big blues fan. Okay, and even some classical music, because there's nothing in the music scene like great orchestral music. I know a lot of people are like, but that's boring. No, it's not. Listen to it. Sit down sometime and open yourself up to it, and you'll realize that most orchestral music, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, things like that, it's phenomenal stuff. Simply phenomenal. And it will get your blood going. Have you guys ever heard Beethoven's Ninth Symphony? The ending of it? Otherwise known as the Ode to Joy. It is epic on toast, man. It is epic. Let's get some barriers straight. I mean, you've heard all that part, but nobody ever pays attention to it, except it's awesome. It's epic. That's music that gets your blood pumping. There's this fantastic story. Beethoven wrote his Ninth Symphony as he was going deaf, and by the time he was finished with it, he literally could not hear his own music. And he was getting old, and he was almost to the point of dying, old and tired and sick. And he went to, he attended the very first performance of his Ninth Symphony, the Ode to Joy in the Ninth Symphony. And he's listening, he's sitting there and he's watching all the performances, and you can hear the vibration. He can't hear it, but he's feeling the vibration of the music in the floorboards and in the seats and all that number. So he can tell the music's going on. And from the vibration of the floor, he can tell that the performance is flawless. The chorus he has, the orchestra he has, everybody is doing precisely what they need to do, precisely when they need to do it. The performance is flawless. And they get to the end of it, and he's standing there on stage just off center so that he's not interfering with the conductor. And one of the stagehands walked up to him and put his hand on Beethoven's shoulder and turns Beethoven around. That'll do it for this session of Planet Zoo. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you want to contact me. I always answer comments. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
You could be a part of it. There's a revolution, you could be the start of it. Better get a move on while there's still a chance of it. If there's no improvement, this could be the last of it. Nature was a haven, now we need saving. No more conversation, time for cultivation. We all got a part to do to help the world pull through. But you gotta build a zoo. This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. You've an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it. That planet to grab your shovel. There's work to do, the world's in trouble. You gotta build a zoo.